So, good morning, students. Today we will conduct our lecture on fuels and combustion. So, this is the one of the course for your first semester. In this course, we will be studying what are the different alternative fuels which are used in the internal combustion engines, such as ethanol, alcohols, methanol. Then we can see what are the different types of blends, and also next important thing is combustion process in spark ignition and compression ignition engines. What are the different factors which affects this combustion process? So this course is very much helpful for you in doing the research in engines. Now new technologies are incorporated in IC engines. New types of fuels are invented and they are tested in engines. The combustion stoichiometry is also important while doing testing of these fuels. So our course is a very much important course for you in doing research and development work in internal combustion engines. Now, the quality of fuel any engine uses is important to its proper operation and a long life. So what is happening? The fuel is used for the operation of engine. Without fuel, there will be no any operation of engine. Therefore, the fuel quality should be also taken into consideration when we are using the fuels for our engines. That is, the quality such as the different properties of fuels. The fuel is composed of different properties. For our engine to have proper operation and longer life, there is a constraint on properties of such fuels. If the fuel is not right for the air temperature, or if the tendency of the fuel to evaporate is incorrect, several drivability problems can result. So what they are telling us? They are telling, first one, we have to consider the temperature of our operation. In what temperatures our engines are operating. According to that, we have to choose the fuel for our engines. Next important thing is the evaporation property of fuel. The fuel, if it is not evaporating at the correct times when it is put into operation, then there can be certain problems for drivability. The next important thing is an engine burns about 15 pounds of air for every pound of gasoline. What is pound? Pound, it is nothing but a unit of mass which are used in the European nations. So what does it tell? If we are burning 1 pound of gasoline, it is equivalent or it is taking about 15 pounds of air. Therefore, if somebody says in combustion the input for the engine is only fuel, so it is not correct. For proper combustion, we have to supply our fuel, that is gasoline, diesels, LPG, CNG. Along with them, we have to supply air. Air is necessary for the combustion process. Now, the next important thing is automotive fuel refining. So whatever the fuels which are we are using in our automobiles, these fuels we get from the petroleum products. So what are these petroleum products? These are the naturally available, we can say, crude oil which is found in the earth crust. So as it comes out of the ground, therefore petroleum, its meaning is rock oil. So we are knowing the earth crust is composed of different rocks. So we have to perform the drilling process, and during this drilling process we get the crude oil. This crude oil can be thin and light colored as apple cider, or thick and black as a melted tar. Okay, what is tar? The tar is used for making the roadways. Now, the thin crude oil has a high American Petroleum Institute gravity. So, the American Petroleum Institute, मामा ये दार बंद करो. The short form of this is API and is called as a high gravity crude. Now see here, this is a very important thing you should keep in your mind. If certain oils have high API gravity, so these are the thin crude oils which are also determined as a high gravity crude, and thick oils is called low gravity crude. So there is a huge difference between high gravity crude and low gravity crude. If somebody says the thick oil is known as a high gravity crude, this is a very wrong statement. The gravity, the API gravity has a significant meaning in terms of these properties of these crude oils. High gravity type crude contains more natural gasoline. So what does it tell? So more natural gasoline, that which means it is more useful for us. It is having a wide application ranges, and also it consists of low sulfur. A sulfur is not desirable in the crude oils. Whenever we are doing the distillation process, we have to remove this sulfur from our crude oils. Next is the nitrogen content. If the crude oil consists of high amount of sulfur and nitrogen, so it becomes very difficult for refining. What is refining? Refining means making this crude oil usable for our practical applications. If the crude oil contains low sulfur and nitrogen, so it becomes easier to refine. And there is certain, we can say, a layman language. Low sulfur crude oil is known as a sweet crude, and high sulfur crude oil is known as a sour crude. So we should have the crude oil which has having a very low sulfur content in it, which becomes useful for our practical applications. Then processes. Refining is a complex combination of independent processing units, starting with the distillations. Now we are going to see how this crude oil is converted into different petroleum products. What are different petroleum products? Petrol, diesel, LPG, then other waxes. These are all the petroleum products. the polymer plastics which we use in our day-to-day purpose, these are also the petroleum products. Now we will see what is this distillation process. In 18th century, the crude was separated by boiling. So what are they telling us? In 18th century, means before 200 years, the crude oil which we get from the earth crust was subjected to the boiling process. Now the crude is composed of hydrocarbons. What are the hydrocarbons? It is a complex molecular arrangement of hydrogen and carbon molecules with a wide range of molecular weights and broad range of boiling points. These hydrocarbons which cannot have the same boiling points, it can have different boiling points. Now next important thing is the products of this crude oil were assigned a temperature range. So what is this temperature range? Means the temperature range indicates the boiling point of this crude oil from which we get that product. The product was obtained by condensing the vapor that boiled off in this range at atmospheric pressures. So what they are telling, the crude oil was boiled in atmospheric pressures. The temperature of the boiling plays a very important role. If a crude oil was boiled in a temperature range of 70 to 80 degrees centigrade, the vapors which were formed during this range were condensed, and from them we were able to get one particular product from this crude oil. The next important thing is, earliest were simple pot stills consisting of a container where crude oil was heated and a condenser to condense this vapor. So this was a very simple arrangement. They were using simple pots. In that pot, the boiling process was carried out, and there was a condenser which was placed to condense these vapors. Distillation later became a continuous process with a pump to provide the crude flow, a furnace to heat the crude, and a distillation column. So after that, this simple process was improved. The improving the process resulted into high production rates of these crude oils or the products from the crude oil. It was provided with a distillation column, a furnace. Then in a distillation column, vapor of propane and butane rises to top. Straight run gasoline called naphtha, kerosene and diesels cut are drawn off successfully lower in the column. So there is one distillation column, one big distillation column. At the top end we get this butane and propane, whereas the bottom ends at successive points we get kerosene, naphtha or the diesel fuels. We will see the distillation column in the next slide. Cracking. What is meant by cracking? Hydrocarbons with higher boiling points can be cracked into lower boiling hydrocarbons by subjecting them to very high temperatures, and this is called as a thermal cracking. It was used to increase gasoline production starting in 1913. So cracking is a very simple phenomena. It tells us the complex hydrocarbons which are having the very high boiling points. If these complex hydrocarbons are subjected to very high temperatures. So what is going to happen? This high temperature will result into complex hydrocarbons to get converted into simple hydrocarbons, and this is called as a thermal cracking. And these simple hydrocarbons will be having a lower boiling point, and these are called as a lower boiling hydrocarbons. Then eventually heat was supplemented by a catalyst. So what is this catalyst? A catalyst is a material which is used in a chemical reaction in order to increase the rate of chemical reaction. Now this catalyst, when which are used uh, during this cracking, what was happening? Transforming the thermal cracking into a catalytic cracking. So the thermal cracking was converted into a catalytic cracking by providing one catalyst. A catalyst speeds up a chemical reaction without undergoing permanent chemical change in itself. So this catalyst improves the rate of this chemical reaction. So whenever this chemical reaction gets improved, so the products of our from the distillation process, okay, are also getting produced at a fast rate. The catalyst which we are using does not undergo any permanent chemical change. Also, the catalytic cracking produces gasoline of higher quality than thermal cracking. So what is this higher quality? Means whatever the products which are produced by this catalytic cracking are having the properties which are highly suitable for our day-to-day applications. That is why we call them as an higher quality. Next important thing is hydrocracking. The hydrocracking is similar to catalytic cracking in that it uses a catalyst, but the catalyst is in a hydrogen atmosphere. Hydrocracking can break down hydrocarbons that are resistant to catalytic cracking alone. More commonly, it is used to produce diesel fuel rather than gasoline. So what they are telling? Sometimes certain hydrocarbons cannot be break down by mere catalyst. Therefore, a hydrogen, a hydrogen atmosphere is used. In this hydrogen atmosphere, we are adding the catalyst. So this helps in breaking down the complex hydrocarbons which were resistant for the catalytic cracking alone. More commonly, it is used to produce diesel fuel rather than gasoline. The hydrocracking, we are having the most important application for the production of the diesel fuels. Now we will see the next slide. Now see, this one is the distillation column. Here you can see this is a distillation column. In this distillation column, we are boiling this crude oil. The different processes in the distillation column are reforming, alkalination, isomerization, hydrotreating, desulfurization. Now here you can see this is the distillation column. It is having a very good height, and at different points we are seeing there are the outlets. One of the outlet is from top, and also from the sideways there are the different outlets. Now whenever this crude oil is burned, these vapors are formed, okay, and this vapor try to rise upwards. So the vapor which are produced at the top end, which are known as a light petroleum gas, okay, from which we are getting this propane. Now this gas is also subjected for the sulfur recovery, which removes the sulfur content from this, and the sulfur which can be used for our engineering applications or day-to-day different applications. Now next, this fuel gas can be used for the refinery use, means this distillation column also requires the heat. Now this, for production of this heat we require the fuel, so we get this fuel from this point. Now here you can see here whatever the residues which are formed at the bottom, okay, these are nothing but the products, okay, and from these products we get a petroleum coke, then ship fuel, and then diesels. Then the next part, there is one, we can say one level, and this level the vapors or the products of this crude are subjected to catalytic cracking, or we can say alkalization, from which we get these jets, we can say the jet fuel, aviation gasoline, aviation fuel. There are different processes such as jet hydrotreating, diesel hydrotreating, then naphtha hydrotreating, from which we can be getting different fuels by having a chemical and gasoline reforming process. That can be motor gasoline, aviation gasoline, jet fuel. And also there are certain kind of products of this crude oil which are called as aromatics. These aromatics are xylene, benzene, okay. These products are also having particular application in the industrial processes. So this one is, we can say, a simple diagrammatic representation of distillation column, from which we get different products from the crude oil. So here we can see the products such as sulfur, propane, benzene, xylene, motor gasoline, aviation gasoline, jet, diesels, petroleum coke are nothing but a wide range of these products from the crude oil, which we find their application into our day-to-day life. Now next important part is how we are going to shipping this. Shipping means the transportation of from the one position to another position, or we can say one location to another location. A gasoline is transported to regional storage facilities by tank, railway car, or by pipeline. All gasoline is said to be miscible, meaning that it is capable of being get mixed. Each grade is created to a specifications. There is no reason to keep different gasoline brands separated except for grade. We can say there are different grades. As per the specification, these grades are classified. In these different grades, we can mix these products with certain materials. Okay. Now, regular grade, mid grade, and premium grades are separated in pipeline. Additives are added at regional storage facilities. The gasoline is shipped by truck to individual gas station. Now we can say the grading is composed of adding the products of the crude oil with certain additives. These additives are nothing but these are used for enhancing the properties of this crude oil, which can be used for a particular applications. Now gasoline. Gasoline in India we call as a petrol. Gasoline is termed to be describe a complex mixture of various hydrocarbons which are refined from the crude oil for use as a fuel in the engines. So we can have this gasoline as a very important thing which we are using in our engines. It is used as a fuel in our engines. Most gasoline is blended to meet the needs of the local climate and altitudes. Now what is happening? The gasoline which is we are using in our engines, so its properties should be enhanced so it can be used in different climates and altitudes. Therefore different additives are added into the gasoline which makes them suitable to used in different conditions. So what are that additives? In subsequent lectures we will see these additives which are added into gasoline. Now what happens? This one is we can say a simple question. So what there is a California, it is a we can say a city, or we can say one we can say a location in the US. Now what is a California gas can? When researching for ways to reduce the hydrocarbon emissions in California, California are having a stringent pollution norms in the world. Therefore, to reduce these hydrocarbon emissions, what they have done, it was discovered that leakages from small gasoline containers used to refuel small lawn mowers and other power equipment was a source of unburned gasoline entering the atmosphere. Now, what was happening in California? They have found out uh, different engines for which the fuel was required. The fuel was stored in cans, but what was happening from the cans? The fuel was getting evaporated, and this evaporated fuel was let into atmosphere, and this one is a unburnt gasoline. As a result of this discovery, a new design for a gas can container was developed that is kept closed by a spring and uses O-rings to seal the opening. So this is a special kind of gas can which is used for storing this gasoline, or we can say petrols. So if we are using this can is having no possibility of evaporating the fuel from it. To use this container, the nozzle release lever is held against the side of the fuel opening, allows air to enter the container and fuel to flow. The flow of fuel stops automatically when the tank is full, eliminating any spillage. So this is a very convenient way of filling the fuel tank of our automobiles by these cans. These cans don't let any unburned fuel to go into atmosphere. Now, this can meet the California Resource Board approval, uses a spring-loaded seal nozzle and eliminates gasoline spillage and leaks into atmosphere. So, this is used in the foreign countries. This technology is not used in our India till now.